On standardisation, I mean, we've already got a pretty comprehensive interoperability framework that sets out quite a lot of standards to make sure that government systems can talk to one another and use the same data. And then, of course, there's certain standardisation initiatives for the community as a whole. So, for example, one of the big IT initiatives the government is taking is around medical records and making sure that we have a medical record sharing infrastructure that involves not just the public hospitals and public doctors, but also the private doctors, private hospitals, private labs. But in order to make that work, of course, you need to have a common set of data standards that describe medical conditions and drugs and test results and so forth. Now, of course, a lot of that is already developed on a global basis, but to choose which set of standards we're going to use in Hong Kong is a very important task, and that's a key aspect and a key early project within the e-health record program. So I wouldn't have said standardisation was our biggest priority at the moment, though. On IT governance, the key issues really are if you're going to do more joined up IT and more joined up service delivery, how do you fit that into a governance model that has historically allocated resources department by department by department? And really, to my mind, the key thing is actually to start getting is to improve the quality of business cases. So you need to make sure governance starts with knowing why you're doing a project. And making sure that people are clear about why they're doing it. So that, and in particular, although some government IT projects you do because there's a very clear financial payback in terms of resource saving, there are many that you do because they deliver improved customer satisfaction, or because they actually result in better delivery, more effective delivery of policy. And in all those things, to a greater extent we can measure what the outcomes are, even if they're not financial, so that we know how we'll be able to measure the success or failure of the project, and we can also judge whether or not the money to be spent on the project is worth it for the benefits to be delivered. If we can get the business cases right up front, then it becomes, then once everyone's convinced there's a prize to be won, it's a lot easier to sort out a way of allocating resource to the people who are going to have to deliver the project. And equally, it then helps when it comes to project governance. All the decisions you need to make along the course of executing the project are much easier to make, and you can make with much greater confidence if you can go back to the business case and say, well, what does this decision do to the on the one hand the costs of the project, and on the other hand the benefits to be delivered. So I think IT governance, and there's a lot to do on IT governance, but one of the absolutely key things is to get business cases right, so we know why we're doing what we're doing, and that's a major focus for us.